Astrology for the final week of August 2024. Oh my God, are we all still alive? Like, this has been so ridiculous. My sense, I'm going to give you kind of a little bit of a warning up front here in this conversation. This might be a really weird video. It might be really annoying. It might agitate the shit out of you. I might swear a lot. I don't know. It might just really, really tweak you and piss you off. But I swear to you, if you can get past me annoying the crap out of you, there's going to be some gold in this. I know it. I know it. Whenever I do astrology videos, it's an embodiment of the energy, and the energy is fucking annoying. So if I'm annoying you, I'm sorry. I'm not an astrologer. Do you know that I accidentally fell into astrology by doing archetypal embodiment? I was really just embodying all the archetypes, and it just so happened that a lot of the archetypes that I was embodying were astrological points. They were planets and they were asteroids. And then that's how I came to understand astrology and learn astrology. Isn't that funny? Like, I was actually doing the embodiment of all of the different energies through my body, in my being. And then that's what led me to look at fucking charts by becoming it. Isn't that weird? Bet you didn't know that. Maybe you did know that. Anyways, all right, let's see if we can get into this fucking astrology for this week. Oh my God. One thing is that the week starts off and we are still in Mercury retrograde until Wednesday. Mercury goes direct on Wednesday. Now, we like to think that we're out of the woods as soon as Mercury goes direct. We're not. It's actually the final phase of his retrograde. It's the third swipe past all of the planets like Chiron, like Uranus, right? And those points that he's already gone over in the chart twice. It's the third movement past them. So it's the final swoop. It's now like gone over it, said, ooh, here's some problems. Gone back over it, let's go fucking deep into the shadow of the problems, right? All had to do with Virgo, mostly Leo though, because he started at like 2 or 3 degrees of Virgo, then went all the way back to 21 degrees of Leo. So this Mercury retrograde, right? This Mercury retrograde was about you shining your light, dulling your shine. Where do you dull your shine, dim your light, hide your light, your love, your uniqueness, your creativity from yourself, from the world, from your loved ones? Not a super simple Mercury retrograde. Kind of a little bit painful for some of us, and we're still in it. So now it's the third swipe all the way to September 11th. So just know, just because he's going direct doesn't mean we're out of the woods. It just means that now we're going to be able to see a little bit more clearly. We're going to be able to make decisions about how we stop dimming our light. Maybe you've already been making some decisions. You've already been seeing some stuff. By now, we should have some insights. But staying attuned, asking ourselves those questions, right? Getting super honest. Like Mercury is all about being radically honest. A retrograde is a deep underworld journey into the unconscious to really excavate, right? What are like deep karmic blocks, ancestral patterning, past life stuff, childhood memories, right? Like absorbed conditioning. It's a deep journey. It's a deep journey that he goes on, and it was in Leo, so it was all about your unique creative expression of light and love in this lifetime. Just that, just that. And him just pointing out like, and here's where you don't shine your light, and here's where you don't give your love, and here's where you dim and you play small and you, right? It's all to empower us. It really is. Mercury is a psychopomp. What does psychopomp mean? It's guide to the soul. So every time Mercury goes retrograde, it's a soul sojourn. This one was a soul sojourn to help you move past blocks, fears, patterns that prevented you from fully shining, fully showing up in your unique, creative, beautiful, love-filled, light-filled essence that you are as a soul in this lifetime. Just that. Yeah. So Wednesday's a bit pivotal this week because he is going direct. Now, when a planet stations, they get louder, right? There's more energy. The slower they're going, they get louder. There's just more intensity to it. So Wednesday can be a really, really good day to ask ourselves some of those questions that I just shared with you. For those of you who are in membership, Wednesday's a really good day to watch that Mercury retrograde deep dive. If you want to get in on the deep dive, now's a really great time to do it, right? It's still in membership. It's only in membership until the end of August though. Then it disappears because it's only for August monthly. Once you're in, you have lifetime access as long as you're a member, blah, blah, blah. It's an hour and 20 minutes. And if you're interested in it and you're not a member, Bones will get you in there. So type Bones below, we'll shoot you a link, or find the link in the description below. Just look for ReWilding membership, living close to the bone. Awesome time, whether you do it via that guided journey deep dive, or you just ask yourself some of those questions or your own questions around Leo, Mercury retrograde, psychopomp in Leo. What has this shown me? What is this showing me? What are the decisions to make? What is my path forward? It's now that stage, that phase of Mercury retrograde. When he goes direct, it's now that stage of taking steps forward, implementing. It is now in implementing. And this can sometimes be the hardest phase of a Mercury retrograde. It's because it's when we have to have the challenging conversations. We have to bring it into our lives and make the pivots in the physical. In our physical daily lives, we're now being asked to make the pivots. Yeah. Okay. So that's one aspect, big aspect that's happening this final week of August. Next big aspect that's happening this final week of August is, let's move into this one. I love this one. This one's really beautiful. And you can kind of feel the weavings between what I just spoke about with Mercury going direct and it being Virgo season. Now, the thing I want to highlight about this week, this final week in August and Virgo season, is that Vesta, the Vestal Virgin, the asteroid that is the priestess asteroid, right? And I'll talk a little bit more about what that means, what that part of self is, what it points to. It's a focus on our path of service. We're all in service to something, whether that be our families, that be our communities, that be our work in the world, that be the earth. We're all like in service to something. Vesta really points out, she's a V, right? One of her symbols is, it's V. I'm doing it upside down. One of her symbols is V, and she helps us to focus on that which makes us feel purposeful. Isn't this beautiful? I think this is such a beautiful combination with Mercury going direct. It's so beautiful and so perfect. So it's going to take us into an even deeper, more soulful, more purposeful, more well-rounded way of shining our light. Right? Where Mercury's in the Leo going direct, like shine your light, shine your light, shine your light. Vesta brings it into focus. Yeah, shine your light here. This is what is most on purpose for you. There's this saying that I sometimes say to myself, I started to, but then I started to share it with others. Maybe it serves for you or supports you in some way. Just because I can doesn't mean I should. Right? Just because I can doesn't mean I should. And I know that some of us that walk this path of just love, you know, we just love. We just walk a path of love, or we walk a path of, knowing that there's more out there, this path of growth, this path of awakening, this path of evolution, however we want to speak to it. I know that sometimes like everything pulls at our heartstrings, like everything breaks our heart in the world, everything, and like we could pour our love and our life force into that. And we could pour our love and our life force into that. And then, the higher vibration, this is just what I've kind of witnessed. Maybe you see this differently and I totally respect that. But like the higher vibration that we get to, the more things that pull at us. Have you noticed that? If you have, I would love to hear in the comments. Like if you have, I'd love to hear, or other thoughts or theories or things that you've witnessed around that. Like what's happened for you as you get to a higher and higher level of vibration, a higher and higher level of love. For me, I've noticed that there's more things that like look my way, like whether they're projects or they're community spaces or they're whatever they are, or they're people or they're plants or they're animals or they're the earth, right? But to me, it's like more things are like, ooh, pick me, give me your attention, give me your consciousness, give me your love, give me your light. There's just more and more and more and more. Vesta helps with discernment, really helps with discernment. And is a very, very powerful archetypal energy to activate in ourselves. And I would say anyone that's on a spiritual path of any sort, definitely would benefit from an activation of Vesta, right? It's a part of self. It's an archetypal energy, but as within, so without. It's a part of self, but really like getting good with that part of self because it really helps with the discernment, right? So when everything's pulling at us, she's literally like, this is where you focus. This is the thing that serves the highest good. This one thing, these three things, it's super stunning. So let's go back to the astrology. She moves into Virgo this week. Early in the week, she moves into Virgo. This is like the priestess in the earth priestess sign. Virgo's the earth priestess, by the way. It's like the priestess is in the earth priestess sign and she's just like, yes, I'm really alive. It's like how I was saying Mercury is really alive. Planets get really alive when they're stationing. Vesta gets really alive when she moves into Virgo. Now she also gets really alive, not just because she moved into Virgo where she can dance freely, be heard loudly. She's in a yod with Pluto and Neptune. Neptune is a mystical spiritual force right at her. Pluto is power from the depths pointing right at yod. It's a finger of God right at Vesta who just moved into Virgo. Y'all, this is beautiful. It is amazing. If there was one, there's three. There's three archetypal energies to lean into this week. One is Vesta. Two is Mercury, we already talked about that. Three is Venus. We're going to talk about her. Those are the powerhouse archetypal energies to lean into. Archetypal energies are parts of self. This is where the big wisdom is to be gained this week. This is where the big insights and the big movement forward is to be. This is where we want to make decisions from, where we want to listen to the deep inner guidance from these three aspects. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about this yod, this finger of God, and Vesta. It's like she's got the mystic, like your soul, your spirit, the higher heart, right? Higher levels of love. She's got all of that energy pointing at her. And then she's got Pluto, deep underworld, right? Transformation, death, rebirth, and a massive amount of power. Like the most powerful planet in astrology. Both of those energies simultaneously are pointing right at her. This is like rocket fuel for her as a rocket ship in her home sign of Earth Priestess. Make good decisions this week. Make purpose-filled decisions, soul-based decisions this week. It's loud. The door is wide open. We are so crazy supported. Listen to those deep gut feels. Vesta can be accessed through the inner flame. The inner flame, like a little bit of a meditation going into your inner flame, your inner fire. Go right there. Tap in, dive in. Those of you who've worked with me in a mystery school or priestess training or in IX, you'll kind of know, Vesta, you'll know how to access this point. I don't have anything free if I had something free that has Vesta in it, I would certainly share it with you. What the hell do I have? I don't have anything that I can think of other than just what I've fucking shared with you here around Vesta, right? To dive into it, we are going to be doing something really amazing in a couple of weeks. My sense is Vesta will show up in that particular free, big, beautiful, wild thing. If you've ever done a ReWilding Challenge, you'll know that they're pretty amazing. We have one happening in September, September 13th to the 15th. I don't even have a sign up form for you yet. Like I can't even like give you that to say like, hey, here we can access some of this really cool stuff yet. But stay tuned to the new moon astrology video. I will get us an opt-in to that challenge. I'll get you a way to get your free seat to that challenge. It's 3 days of live trainings. Yeah, pretty cool, hey? All right, enough on that. All right, let's move on. More about this week's astrology. Let's shift over to the Venus aspect that's happening. I love this. So we have a finger of God, the yod, pointing at Vesta. We have a kite pointing at Venus. I just don't know that it gets any better than this. Like, it's hard, I'm not going to lie. It's hard. It's very fated. It's very hard. We're going to have to tap into deeper realms of self. We're going to have to tap into like more mystical realms of self, because these are really mystical aspects in astrology. It's called the finger of God. It's called a mystical kite, right? They're very mystical aspects of self, but there's so much juice and there's so much magic there. So let's talk about this kite. Let's unpack it. How do we work with it? So Venus being at the peak of the kite, she's opposing Neptune. He's at the base of the kite. Kind of fucked up. I said Neptune is mystical, right? Neptune is mystical. I was saying like he's also, he's doing that thing with pointing at Vesta, simultaneously pointing at Venus this week. So good. Seriously. It's like rocket launching us into our soul path and our spiritual path via the feminine. Vesta is a feminine archetypal energy in Virgo. Venus is a feminine archetypal energy also in Virgo. Feminine sign. It's feminine. Really and truly, where it's at this week is the feminine. Ooh, here's something free. Here's something free I can give you. 6 Faces of the Feminine. It's free. It's a masterclass. It's like 90 minutes. Go into Feminine Mystic. That's really powerful. And Lover Goddess. I mean, you'll go into like all 6 faces of it, right? But those are the 2 big ones. Feminine Mystic, that's Vesta. And then the Lover Goddess is Venus. Go dive into that, right? 90 minutes, totally free. It's a little bit old. So you're going to laugh. And when you see me, you'll be like, oh my God, you were such a baby. But the information in there is still pretty solid, and you'll still be able to tap into a bunch of stuff. So the feminine is where it's at. Feminine intuition, that's what we want to trust this week. Right? Feminine mysticism, our feminine embodiment, our body wisdom. You want to think of the mysteries of the feminine. You want to think of like womb wisdom. You want to think of embodied body wisdom. You want to think like, how does your feminine show up? How does your feminine show up? My feminine doesn't show up logical, rational, or reasonable fucking ever. But she'll go, I have a gut feel that this is not the direction to go. Like last night I had a gut feel. My dog should sleep here. So silly. I mean, this is so dumb, such a stupid example. Gut feel, my dog should sleep here. I didn't listen to it because I was like super groggy, falling asleep, passing out, la la la. My dog slept somewhere else. Oh my word. Bad call. Bad call, right? That's such a silly, weird example, but it's like, trust those gut feels, trust those, like, you don't even know why you know it, but you know it. Like, that's the feminine intuition. So trust that feminine instinctual self. I like using that word instinctual self for the feminine. Okay. I also want to talk about heart. Heart's going to be fucking important this week, especially with Venus in this kite. Venus, what does Venus take us to? Here's the thing that I wish the whole world was able to tap into deep feminine heart longings. The longing in the depth of our heart. The longings in the depth of our heart. Y'all know the kind of world we would create if we didn't hide that. If we didn't try to avoid the pain and longing. Longing hurts. Longing is grief-filled. Longing is rage-filled sometimes. Longing is, and I'm not just saying this from my own experience, I'm saying this from watching hundreds, thousands of women, men tap into deep feminine heart longing, and it's a motherfucker. It's a motherfucker. But once you get there, it's magical as shit. It's mystical as shit. It's stunning. It's so beautiful, and it's crazy powerful. People are oftentimes asking me, Sabrina, like feminine magnetism, what is that? How do you do that? Feminine allurement, feminine magnetism, feminine radiance, right? The deep, powerful stuff is in that deep longing. But we oftentimes have to go underneath the layers that protect the deep longing, because we don't want to admit how much our heart longs to be met. We don't want to admit how much we long for love, how much we long to experience love, express love, and we sometimes will just put that into how much we are dying to be in relationship. How much we are dying to be married, how much we are dying to have children, how much we are dying for this love to be able to flow, to give, to receive, to flow deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. How much we are longing for union. We are longing for love to be moving through us in crazy powerful ways. Here's the cool part, is that points to our soul purpose. It points to our soul purpose. It points to our soul purpose. The feminine soul purpose is to create life, to call in, to magnetize in, to create life that Let's love flow in the way that you are uniquely, deeply, truly longing to experience love flow through you to another thing, with another thing. Maybe it's your work in the world. I know a lot of love flows, right? Through me and my work in the world, through me and my team, through me and those who I get to sit in deep, intimate circles with. There's a lot of fucking love that flows through. And it's what my deep feminine heart longs for, is love to be experienced in that particular form. Now, not everybody like craves, right, to sit in intimate circle and let love flow, you know, like receive, give love, let love flow, watch love flow, facilitate love flowing, right, in, around, through everything. Not everyone craves for it to be in an intimate circle, right? Or on like a deep shadow journey. Like part of me just loves. It's part of my fucking purpose is to watch love flow in deep shadow territory, like the shittiest, nastiest, gnarliest fucking territory. When we can get love flowing through there, it is like my soul is on fire, right? I am crazy lit up. Like the deepest depths of my heart feel so fucking full. Now that's my unique imprint, along with many others in that deep heart longing of how I crave for love to flow, how I crave to experience love. But that's the work of feminine soul purpose. That's the work of deep feminine purpose. What is your feminine purpose? What is your purpose around love? What does love want to do to you, through you, with you? That's a really good question for this week, by the way. Really good question. Really good question. If you want to activate a little more of that energy, go watch the 6 Faces Masterclass, listen to the lover section, and then dive in, dive deeper, right? It's a deeper. When we tap into that, there's like this alignment and this enormous amount of power. The longing, isn't this interesting? Have you ever worked with creation energy? Creation energy is like a sacred energy. It's kind of like Kundalini, but it's like you're tapping into the potential, the capacity to work directly with creation energy. Listen to this, your deep heart longing, that force in the feminine heart, that deep longing, and it takes a lot of surrender, right? It's deepening, it's surrendering, it's softening, right? To get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. That longing connects directly to creation energy. Creation energy, right? Connects directly to the physical world, to people, to places, to things, directly to the physical world. It's in everything. It is everything. And so to have that activated, that direct link, that's when we get to move mountains with our heart. That's when the feminine actually gets to manifest without doing anything, lifting a finger. But it has to come from that deep alignment. And it's tough to get there, right? I'm not saying you're not there, right? I'm not saying that at all. I'm just kind of honoring the journey that it is and the layers and the layers and the layers and the layers that it typically is to actually access that force, to actually access the truth of what our heart is really, honestly, genuinely longing for, right? And so just honoring that journey, really honoring that journey. I should do like a retreat on that, you know? Like I think that would be really cool, like a 5-day retreat in someplace like beautiful, like Ibiza, right? Someplace like that, or where else feels like super like yummy like that. I don't have a clue. If you're up for that and you want to do like a good retreat into your deepest feminine heart longing and move through all those layers and access that power and tap into creation energy, wow, this would be fucking amazing. Anyways, leave a comment below. Like if there's super interest, I will totally bring that to the team and have a little chat about that and see if that's like a viable rewilding event. Whew. It lights me up like crazy, so we'll see. But if you're interested, it's helpful. It's really helpful. It's always helpful to know what you're thinking and how we can adjust or how we can support you. So please let me know if that's something that sings to you. Okay, so Vesta in this kite. Remember I spoke about Vesta being opposite Neptune. So this is going to be a little tricky part, right? This is a little tricky part in that Neptune's the dissolver. He also is the illusionist, right? He's like the magician and he can hide things. He can create something that's not really there. He can kind of trick us into believing something. So it's going to take real radical honesty, like real radical honesty, because Venus is opposing Neptune. Now it brings us to higher heart and higher love, but it can get real ungrounded real fast. It can get real out there real fast. It can get real dreamy, real, just like where it's gone a little too far. And so just know your markers around that. When you've gone a little too far, like, yeah, nope, that's not actually what would fulfill my deepest heart's longing. Like creating that in the world is not actually what would fulfill my deepest heart's longing. So then on the sides of this kite, right? So it's Venus at the point, Neptune at the base, and then at the sides, there's Uranus and Pluto. Y'all. Uranus, radical revolutionary, Kundalini awakening, like more juice, radical revolutionary, breaking through, doesn't care about previous limitations, glass ceilings at all, whatever, wants the new and wants it fucking now. It is lightning bolt awakening. He's sitting there, and then Pluto, we already talked about Pluto. That's like deep power, deep power, most powerful, but from the depths. So all of that energy is pointing at Venus. I'm telling you, this is a breakthrough week. It's a breakthrough week, but we're going to have to let the feminine lead the way. The feminine, as in feminine gut feels, feminine intuition, feminine heart, feminine deep heart longings, right? Let her talk, let her speak, let her dance you, like let her move you. It's like her saying, I don't know, let's just say like we're talking about a partnership and like one partner is really embracing and embodying the masculine, and then one partner is really embracing and embodying the feminine. And the feminine aspect, this is the aspect that we want to listen to, is just like, babe, I've really got this like gut feel, just this deep inner knowing that we should turn left. And the masculine's like, that makes no sense. Like, that doesn't make any sense. That's a longer route. That doesn't make any sense. And she's just like, babe, I really can feel. I just can really feel. And I can't tell you why. I don't know what the unfolding is exactly, but I just like, we really need to turn left now. And then the masculine part of us, or like in this, fun little conversation, the masculine is like, all right, cool. I'll get my force behind that. I'll get my directional force behind that. This is all of us, our masculine. I'll get my decision-making directional force behind that, and turns left, right? Turns left. Then you come to find out you avoided dying, right? Or I don't know. Like you turn left and then suddenly you buy a ticket at the gas station for the lottery, and then you win the fucking Powerball, which is like $8 billion, right? But you would have never gone past the gas station had you not listened to that deep feminine voice to turn left. And then she probably a little bit later on down the thing was like, I really need to pee, honey. And then, she's like, I just really feel like I should spend $5 on a lotto ticket, and then boosh, billionaires. Like, I know that's a really silly story, but that's what's on offer this week. But we gotta trust that. We gotta trust that. We gotta trust that deep feminine intuition. So building that is very powerful, of course, for us just in our overall lives. Body wisdom activation is a really good one for that. It's a good one no matter where you're at on kind of like that tapping into feminine intuition. That could be really good for this week, actually. It's a $47 workshop. I would say that is the best workshop that we have for this particular energy this week, because it will also help you to hear the Vesta, the mystical guidance. It will help you to open up to the Venus. I would do that workshop every day this week. I know a lot of you have it already, but if you don't have it, Body Wisdom Activation, we'll put a link below. That's the best workshop to do this week, really and truly, because it taps you into deeper feminine wisdom. That's the whole point of it, is to tap you into the deeper feminine wisdom in yourself and to let that be the guiding force at the forefront. I can't believe I didn't think of that sooner. That's so funny. Anyways, that's the best thing to do this week. That, and then stay tuned for the new moon that's coming out. So new moon episode will come out later on this week. And then stay tuned for the ReWilding Challenge that's coming up. All right. In the meantime, I just wish you a ton of love this week, a ton of breakthrough, a ton of action forward from that deep true place within, that deep feminine intuitive place within. It's really and truly the best thing, especially because we're just in Virgo season. We're in Virgo season, right? We've got Venus and we have Vesta sitting there. Mercury, the mind is in Leo, that's heart, then goes into Virgo. So the mind is translating, messenger of the gods is translating the heart, right? Leo, heart sign, and then we'll be translating Virgo, the earth priestess. All right, so sending you a ton of love this week. Would love to see you in the comments below. Hit the thumbs up if you love this video. Subscribe if you don't want to miss anything else. Send it to a friend if you love, whatever. Just love your support. Love being with you here. Super grateful. Y'all, I wouldn't be here without you. And I know that. That is never lost on me. It is never lost on me. I had a friend say to me today, because I'm hanging out at her house. It's in this like a cool, different little setup. And she goes, Sabrina, you're like the most grateful person I've ever met. You just always are pouring on the gratitude. I'm like, I don't know. I just always feel a lot of gratitude. And I just really do. I just really always feel a lot of gratitude that we get to be here, that I get to be here, right? That I get to be here like this with you. I get to do this with you. I don't know. It's deep bow. All right. So much love to you.